Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Miami Sports Break. David Eversole, joined as always by Jaccare Givens, catching you up on everything going on in the world of Miami sports on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Before we get started, I want to mention one of our awesome sponsors here at the Five Reasons Sports Network, Biscayne Bay Brewing. With Major League Baseball just starting, they have a beautiful wall down there at Marlins Park, a big part of the sports community with the Heat and the Marlins. So you can find them at biscaynebaybrewing.com/beer finder to get them in your area. Jock, what's going on, man? I know it's been a minute. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. Been, we haven't had much going on in sports lately. Both of us been busy with other things. But we're back. You'll see us again this week as well. So I'm happy to be back with my partner in crime, Dave, and we're just here to have a good show today.
Yeah, and there is a lot going on as far as like news and speculation, obviously leading up to the draft and
It's a lot
Panthers
more
making.
It's a lot more speculation than news.
Yeah, like some of these mock drafts are coming out that are pretty ridiculous. We might touch on those a little bit, but you just want to dig into some of the storylines going on. Obviously, with the Heat lately, got a big national game tonight. Kind of a finals rematch, I guess, with the Lakers. Obviously, both teams look a lot different. The Lakers have quite a few injuries with LeBron and AD being out. So, but doesn't seem to matter for the Heat. It seems like they kind of just played out of the opponent, whoever it may be, or some nights they play up to the opponent. It's just been an unusual stretch. You saw them kind of turn things around, but the game against Memphis was kind of really a reality check, especially on the defensive end. So they're just getting beat up by lower tier guys on the perimeter, and the defenses was really a concern in that Memphis game. I know Brooks lit them up from three, and want to see tonight who the latest Heat killer is going to be for the Lakers. So who do you think is going to be the nightmare of Heat fans tonight on the Lakers since all the stars are out?
Miami's gonna win this game very handily. I would say. I
I would
don't really
hope.
see it. I don't really see it being much of a game. The Lakers, obviously, they're banged up. But if I had to pick a guy on the team that I think probably would hurt them tonight, would be Montrezl Harrell. I think he would probably have the best chance to do it on the perimeter. Miami's pretty solid now with the addition of Oladipo, Butler, Ariza. So I really think Montrez will get him some problems tonight. But that's about it. But I think Miami should win this game very easily. A loss would be very that would be like one of the worst losses of the season. Like you can't lose to a team without their two best players. Um, so I see Miami winning very easily tonight. We do hope that Victor Oladipo finally get his offensive game flowing. But he
Mm,
just needs some more practice time. That's
yeah,
what it
and he's
seems
looked
like. But
better game to game. He's looked a little bit more comfortable on the
but
offensive end.
now
But
I know we love the addition of Oladipo, but the Ariza trade, man. The Ariza trade has been more beneficial to
mhm.
Miami than Oladipo is going to be down the stretch, in my opinion.
There's a little bit of surprise. I mean, Ariza came in and it was just kind of like plug and play and go with him. There wasn't really such an acclimation period like you've seen a little bit more with Oladipo. He just fits that stretch four that the Heat needed, the 3-and-D guy who's going to give you solid minutes to start the game. You know where he's gonna be. You kind of the floor of the Ariza. I mean, the guy's been traded more than any other player in the NBA, which means teams like him, but teams don't like him. So I think maybe he's found a home here
But
with the Heat.
he's always had tradable contracts.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
he's
like
always been a guy that teams a contender would look at too. I mean, 3-and-D is one of those things. It's like you need a very specialized type of guy that's going to crash the boards on defense, going to defend multiple positions. He's
don't
switchy and
don't
don't
care
hurt
about the
yourself.
shot. Yeah,
Exactly.
Miami wanted PJ Tucker. So hey,
Hmm.
I think Ariza and Tucker are about on the same level. I think Ariza probably a little bit better at this point in his career, far as what he can do, and he's bigger than
Hmm.
Tucker is. So I think Miami made a great trade. Ariza looks really good, and I think he's going to be part of that closing lineup down the stretch. Um,
Hmm.
Down the stretch defensively, Miami's not going to have any issues. It's offensively where the problems are going to arise for me. Um, so you just need that guy to take that lead. Like Jimmy takes the lead, but it's too sporadic for me. Like Jimmy has to be the guy
Hmm.
more and more than we give him credit for. If he's gonna be this MVP guy or whatever Miami fans want to think, but just like I hear them always say, "Oh, we would have beat the Lakers." No, we wouldn't. The Lakers were superior, better than us with Dragic, with Bam. So I just want to see down the stretch this year what is it going? Who's going to be that closing lineup? And can this team ultimately compete with the Brooklyn Nets, who look
Mm.
unstoppable?
Yeah, they're going to get them at the end of this stretch. They play tonight, the Lakers. I think they go on the road for 4 pretty tough games on the West Coast. So it's real important, I think, to get this win tonight against the Lakers and kind of have some momentum to take you on the road against some tough games. I think they've got Portland and Phoenix, Minnesota, and then they come home and they're going to face Brooklyn and Houston. So Brooklyn looks like a real juggernaut now that KD's back in the mix. I know he came off the bench last night, and it's business as usual. And Kyrie's been cooking lately, so I know he's been a favorite of Prize Picks as well. So, with Brooklyn, man, it's just
So,
like you got to try to
so,
keep up.
so tonight they got the following stretch: Lakers, Trailblazers, Suns, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Nets, Rockets. In
Mm.
that stretch, Miami has to go about. They have to win 1, 2, 3, 4. I say four in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. They have to win four out of the 6 games, in my opinion.
Which is going
Which
to be tough. I mean, Phoenix is
I
looking
think
really good.
I think the Lakers is a definite win.
Houston's a win. I mean,
Houston's a win.
they're hot garbage.
Timber
Brooklyn probably
Timber
lost.
Timberwolves is a win.
That's I can see us losing in Portland.
Then Miami lost to them the last time they played, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I think Miami beats Portland on the road.
No, I
Um,
disagree. I think we lose Portland.
no, I think they beat Phoenix on. I think they beat Trailblazers and Suns on the road. To
Oh,
be honest,
damn, optimistic. I like it.
I think that's my opinion.
They just got to defend, man, and they got to really crash on the 3-point line. And they're facing a lot of good outside shooters too, between Dame, between Booker. There's going to be some guys they got to watch out there on the perimeter. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping for a lot better effort on the defensive end. I think Spo was kind of hinting at that. It wasn't really like a schematic thing. I think just it was just sort of losing guys in the flow of the offense and whatever. And I noticed teams have been bringing Bam out on the perimeter more and trying to get him away from the paint, away from the rim to kind of protect, because Miami
and
has no size at all.
that's the thing. I know everybody loved the trade. No, Miami needs a big. I don't care what they say. Oh, like the Whiteside thing, I was not opposed to. I wanted to see Whiteside come back, playing sparing minutes
Blake
because they.
Griffin was the guy, probably. That was the one deal that maybe got away from him. I think Blake, the wash Blake Griffin narrative was maybe a little bit presumptuous. But
I think that Blake just wanted to go play with DeAndre
yeah,
Jordan. I
he
think
can
he wanted to
move.
go.
I mean, he can move a little bit. He can move better than Boogie Cousins. My
Well, I
God, I
don't know.
mean,
I think I would have still tried to sign Bug though.
no, no. I think Griffin would have been a little bit better fit overall. I think he still has somewhat more left in the tank, but none of those guys are going to be real impact players. I mean, what is Boogie going to give you on a? And obviously, I think bringing in Dwayne Dedman, it looks like I think that's going to be a done deal. That's a pretty sneaky good pickup as
Yeah,
well.
because
I think he could just.
he can stretch the floor, hit the three. He's very energetic on the boards, block shots.
Mhm.
So yes, I think he'll be sparingly played. Spo, from what Ethan reported, does not. I mean, not Ethan, but on the 5 Reasons account was saying that Miami is looking for a big, not necessarily to play, but an emergency guy that they can
Mhm.
plug and play in there.
Yeah, because Precious just he's really struggling with that rookie wall right
They
now,
don't play
and
him.
but when he's out there, he's not good. So that's probably why he's
They
not
don't
playing. I mean, if
play
he's
him,
playing
but
good, he'll play more.
he's
I
just
think,
not. He's not ready.
but he's not ready, and it's one of those vicious cycles. Do you give the guy more minutes and let him keep taking his lumps out there, hoping he gets better, or do you just kind of keep him on the shelf, get into the offseason, give him a whole year of another program, and look for that jump in year two, like you've seen with some of the other guys, like with the KZs and some of the other players that you're seeing those incremental developments with them. I just think Precious was kind of thrown out there too soon. He showed flashes. He's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of talent, but the Bam Precious fit obviously is not working with
Well, we
both
don't
their
know. We
current
don't
versions.
know.
Not
We
now.
don't know because they don't play them together. We don't
Well,
know.
yeah, I think 20 minutes the whole season, but
Yeah.
they really can't play them together. I mean, if anything, Precious is just going to be that guy you can get in for a couple minutes to give you some energy, that Chris Silva type role. Go out there, do some rim running for 5 minutes, crash the boards, give them some energy on defense, and move around and switch and just give guys a break because his role with this team is very limited right now. And I think that Spo's going to tighten down the rotation, and come playoff time, it's only going to be like the top 8 guys or so that's going to be out there. So it'll be pretty moot point. I mean, you're going to roll with the guys. You're going to have your closing lineup.
I mean, I don't like if people expect Miami to go back to the finals, no. I do think they, depending on matchup, can go to the second round, maybe Eastern Conference Finals, depending on matchup.
I think that would be a pretty realistic expectation. So, I mean, who do you have getting out of the East? Obviously, I know Brooklyn looks good. I mean, Philly, they're a lot of
The
competition in the
only
East,
team
man.
that can beat them, that beat the Nets, is two
The
teams.
Bucks.
The Bucks and the 76ers, because they have something that the Nets can't stop. The 76ers have Embiid. If they
Hmm.
slow the game down and just make it a mucky, grinded out game, they can win.
Hmm.
Uh, if Giannis plays how I see him play the other night, hitting the turnaround jumpers, slowing the game down, they have a chance. But other than that, it's Brooklyn a bust. Like, Brooklyn is probably the best team in the East. Not
Yeah,
even
no,
close.
yeah, you'd have to agree. Just their style of play and the
It's too
offensive
much.
performance it gives from night to night. I mean, with three, I mean, elite guys leading the team like that. I mean, it's hard to match up because if you can kind of slow one down, I mean, you've got Kyrie, you've got Hart.
Uh,
It's
and
just
you
you
got the
pick
most
your poison.
unstoppable one in Kevin Durant. Like, once he get
Yeah,
going, it's what do you do?
yeah. No,
I want
he's go ahead.
like it's just it's unfair. So
Yeah, but it is what it is, man. You put together a team; these guys want to be together, and you want to beat them. You got to beat the some of the top guys in the NBA to get where you want to be. But speaking of taking a beating, man, I want to talk about the Marlins for a second, man. It's been a rough go for the Fish. 1-5 to start the season, and we saw this last year. They cannot score runs. I love the pitching staff. I love the young potential and the talent, but I think the playoff run, not so much like the Heat, but I mean the playoff run for the Marlins obviously was really unexpected and kind
well,
of gave some expectations that might be unrealistic.
your defense wins, so the pitching is always gonna keep you in games.
Yeah, I mean they're
You got.
close, but they can't score. I mean they scored 3 runs in the last 3 games total, I think, and they've been shut out twice already in the first 6 games.
I think the Marlins should have went out and acquired a bat. In my
Hmm.
opinion, not much so a power guy, just a guy who you can consistently get out there and get a hit, 2, 3 hits a game. That's unrealistic, but he's a consistent bat
Yeah,
in the
they
middle
need
of that lineup.
situational too. Guys
Yeah,
that hit with runners in scoring position, not striking out, even productive outs. And I mean, the ballpark's not doing them any favors. A pitcher's friendly ballpark like Marlins Park, obviously, is going to help the guys in the mound. But if you don't have any mashers and you can't manufacture offense, you're kind of stuck. Because now
yeah.
the National League style is different than the American League, where teams like the Yankees just hit the ball out of the park. Teams like the Marlins, they got to
See,
kind of grind runs out.
the Marlins are a grinded out team. So if they
Hmm.
do make the playoffs, it's gonna be because it was
They're not
just
gonna.
like a.
The NL East is good, man. I mean, some of the records are down, but I mean, the NL East is talented from top to bottom. I mean, especially some of those pitching staffs. You see, like the Mets can throw out aces at you, Philly,
Do
Atlanta. I
you
mean,
would you be opposed to trading some of them young prospects for a prominent hitter?
not right now. I don't think the Marlins are in a position to be buyers, but I mean, it's so early in the season. I mean, they got to go somewhere. I don't think it should be buyers or sellers. I think they just got to kind of
Yeah,
let the
just take it.
season
Like, they're gonna
unfold.
win. They're gonna win games because of that pitching staff, though.
Yeah, no, they're going to win some lows, but they got to find some offense somewhere. Whether it's just being more aggressive on the base pass and just better situational hitting, you see that with them, just like those deflating outs when the leadoff guy gets on, but then a double play will get you, and then errors on defense
And
as well.
then
Like,
and then that game where they gave up the lead to the Rays where they lost six
mhm.
four, it was just like, come on, man.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. Yeah, the bullpen, and I mean, there's a lot of holes in the team. I just think it's early in the season, and the bats. I mean, they can't be much worse. So I think give the offense a little bit of time to kind of find its footing, and hopefully the pitching staff can stay healthy. That's the thing I worry about with them is just staying healthy and getting those 25 plus starts for some of your top guys in the rotation. But you're 6 games into a 162
Yeah,
game
we
season, but
can't. Nobody. We can't. No, we don't know anything right now. The only thing we do know is the glaring things. They don't have
yeah,
hitters.
they can't score runs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's glaring.
but
It's some like certain things. It's just like when you seen Tour, and we're gonna transition over to Tour right now. When you seen
mhm,
Tour in the offense, you notice right away they have no playmakers on the outside. Like Dolphins have to
mhm,
acquire that. So, um, I do want
yeah,
to translate over. Tua seems to be the talk of all these national media shows. I don't understand why kid hasn't done anything but had a okay rookie season. I do want to
mhm,
break up a stat right now that I found, which was pretty good, right? And I'm gonna read it off to the viewers. If I can find it, I know I put it in. I think I put it in the main group chat. Uh,
better be good.
it is. I can't. Damn it. I thought I saved it, but it had Tua's first 9 career games compared to every AFC East quarterback currently starting. What you have: Cam Newton, Josh Allen. You had Sam Darnold, but he's
Yeah,
gone, so
who knows
no
what's going to
Sam.
be now?
And who do you think had the best stats out of that group?
Probably Tua.
Yes, he went
Probably
11
had the
and
best
5.
record for sure
Yes, he
as
went
well.
11 and 5. Josh Allen was 6 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. We all know what Darnold has done in
Hmm.
his career, and Cam Newton was how he did. He struggled a little bit after that first big rookie game that he had.
Yeah,
So I don't understand where the slander's coming from. Uh, it's very at this point. It's just like it's clickbait at this point.
yeah, and the mock drafts too. I mean, I think Good Morning Football, one of those. Pete Schrager came out with a mock draft that was just like ridiculous. They had the Dolphins taking the other tackle, not Sewell, but who was it?
Slater.
Slater, and like passing on Sewell, passing on Pitts. I mean, like just do you follow? Do you watch the Dolphins? Like, do you know who the Miami Dolphins are? I mean, this doesn't make sense. Like this, like you said, are they just looking for clicks? And it always seems with the Miami teams, like they're just the national media for whatever reason has this.
It's just that's clickbait, man. I don't want to hear anything else about Tua. We don't know what that kid is going to do. We legit don't. We don't know where he's gonna be at in a year from now.
Mhm.
Obviously, we can't. We're not gonna speak on the Deshaun Watson situation because that's a
Yeah,
very
yeah, that's done
sensitive
more and more
subject.
stuff coming out with
Yeah,
that too. It's
more of a
evolving day by day. Yeah.
it's a sensitive subject, and you can't really speak on it.
I
But
want Tua. I want Tua to go out there with just a clear head. He's got a full off season. The guy's working hard. He's got the mental part of the game already kind of under wraps. He's a real stoic guy, real humble, soft spoken guy. He wants to work, but
and he has been.
inside.
He's been working with all the receivers. They've been going
Mhm.
over accounts. So you like, I just don't get it. Why? I obviously we're talking football only when it comes to Deshaun Watson. Football only. Obviously, when it comes to football only, you trade for Deshaun Watson, no matter whatever, like
Mhm.
no matter what. As a football player, we're not talking about his off the field problem. We're talking about hypotheticals here. Yes, you trade Tua for Watson, but other than that, Tua would probably be 1A, 1B in this draft here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, he'd be right behind Lawrence. I think he'd be
yeah,
the second prospect in
and
this
I think
draft.
him and I know people are gonna give me flack for this. Him and Lawrence have they're about the same. Lawrence is just more prototypical. Tua has things that
Lawrence
Lawrence
is a
doesn't
better
have.
Herbert. Lawrence is a better Herbert. Like he has
Yes.
the physical stuff and he has better anticipation. He has
No,
some of
no,
the
no.
Tua trait. Than
I think.
Herbert, not than Tua, than Herbert.
Oh, oh, oh,
I think
oh, oh.
Lawrence has a little bit better vision than Herbert, a little bit better
Because
anticipation and timing on the
like I
touch
said,
throws.
no injury, Tua's going number one. No injury.
Yeah, well, Tua would have went
So
number one if he wouldn't have been injured 2 years ago, and that was very fortuitous. Like you got what you want, and I think Dolphins fans at this point are galvanized for Tua. You know what I mean? Like there's like the fringe maybe that are like, oh, whatever, Tua. Like they want to give up on a guy after 9 games, but then you want to give these guys
and
in their second, third
also
years more chances that haven't been good that don't have the potential of Tua.
Also, Brian Jones came out and said they expect a big jump from Tua Tagovailoa. And one thing I will say from experience and being a former athlete myself, practices is where you see all the good stuff. The
Hmm.
games you see stuff, but practice is where you really see like I can't believe that guy did that.
Hmm.
Practice. So those guys who are in practice with Tua probably have seen him make a throw, and it was like,
Yeah. Well, then you try stuff in practice too. I mean, that's where you find things that work. That's where you build the chemistry. And he didn't have that. And let's just be real. He didn't have weapons. And everybody's like, oh, Tua had this. Tua didn't have anybody. He had Mike Gesicki and a
they
couple shells of receivers
they were
outside. I mean,
going after Joy Taylor about her comments about Tua. I love Joy Taylor. I absolutely love her work. I think she's one of the best not up and coming women. I would say she's established. I would say
yeah.
established women in the sport. So yes, she does. Some of the stuff she was saying was like, come on now. Like you can't want to give Sam Darnold a chance and then
Hmm.
not give Tua a chance after a 9 game
Right.
sample size.
No, and
So
you know where she's at though. She's going for a little bit of the attention as well too. I mean, with some of those shows, there's a little bit more shock value, I think, in some of that programming, and I think she wants to strike a nerve. She's very informed, and I agree. I mean, obviously, being Jason Taylor's sister, there's that whole Miami Dolphins connection there,
yeah,
which
and
is kind
she
of
and
interesting.
she, like I said, she's excellent at her job.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever say like she's excellent at her job. This is no disrespect to her. I just think that was a little bit, out of the
It's
water
a,
to
it's
say
a
that.
little sensationalized. I mean, you look for engagement, things like that. I mean, and I think a lot of these people enjoy the engagement now more than they used to. Some of the national media, like you'll see them quote tweet people, local people. They respond in the
It's
comments. They
and
get in your mentions.
it's nothing wrong with that. I think that more people should engage with the people who are
Hmm.
putting the views on their thing.
Yeah.
It's very important and for like it's very good for us. It's just like me.
Yeah.
I respond to all the stuff they say because I don't have as big as following as she does, but I respond to
You're
everything. I don't
close though.
care.
You're almost there. You're almost
Nah,
there. We're
nah.
gonna get you that blue check.
Yeah, I don't even care, man. I'll engage forever. I think that's probably the best thing, and it's fun because some of those people have good coats. I
Hmm.
do have to put you on the spot right now, Dave. Who we taking
Okay.
at six? Who we taking at six?
It depends on who's there.
What you
Depends on
mean?
who's there.
You're gonna have Pitts.
We're gonna you're gonna it's gonna be Pitts or Sewell. I mean, I'm sorry. Do you think the Bengals take Sewell or Chase at 5? I think they gotta take Sewell at 5.
They're taking Chase.
All right, we're gonna revisit that. I'm
I'm,
gonna
I'm
keep the
gonna tell
receipts
you.
on this one.
I'm gonna tell you why they're gonna take Chase. Because one, Joe Burrow wants him. Two, Jono
Oh,
Williams is not a bad left tackle. He's all right. He's good. Then they just signed Reef, so it's just not
okay.
pressing as a need. Obviously, if you get him, then you have two bookend tackles, but
Hmm.
you never know. Sewell can fall down because they have concerns about him being immature. But
Yeah,
he's 20 years old. He's
yeah. I
20.
think it's if he's there at 6, you gotta take Pitts,
Pitts.
and then
I think Pitts is where we're gonna be at. To be honest,
it's a D. I mean, you can maybe pick up a tackle at 18, perhaps, but they need some
but
edge
I
rushing,
don't
man.
think tackle is a pressing need.
I don't either. I think you got a lot of you don't want to kind of like go against your 2020 draft where you took a tackle in the first round last year. I think maybe you let some guys develop. But if you get the best player available at 18 and it happens to be a tackle, then I mean, you might. I think Miami's going to look to fill needs, but also best player available might pop onto their radar as well. So it's
Correct.
going to be interesting to see. Like the pick number 5 is really going to set up the first round. I think whatever
Correct.
Cincinnati does, Miami's going to pivot from that, obviously. But there could be a trade. Now that some other teams are out of the quarterback mix. Maybe somebody might jump in over us into that Atlanta pick at
I
number
was,
4 or something.
yeah, I did read that. I think Atlanta's open to making the
Yeah.
trade, so we have to just see about that.
Yeah, no, Schefter reported that they're open to make a trade. But before we wrap up, the Florida Panthers look like they're making a deal. They're going to trade much maligned Brett Connolly, the defenseman, along with Riley Stillman, and they're going to bring back a couple of good players, Lucas Carlson and Lucas Walmart from Chicago. Obviously, the Blackhawks and Panthers have a lot of history between the front offices and obviously making trades and things like that. Lucas Carlson's a real good player. So he's bounced around the NHL a little bit, but I think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to come in and fill a real need now that Aaron Ekblad's going to be out for the rest of the season. So, but no, he's only in his 3rd year, Carlson, I think. So they're going to get some good young talent on the blue line, the Panthers, and with Bobrovsky and Net and Barkov back healthy now, I think the Panthers are going to set up for a good run here in the second half. I mean, they've had a great first half of the season so far. So hopefully the Panthers and the Heat are going to be the news until the Marlins can kind of pick things up. So,
well, we all know the news is going to be the draft. We're a couple of weeks away, so that's what I think we're all in for.
Yeah, but before we get off here, make sure to check out online. Simon Clancy from the 3 Yards Per Carry came out with a real great draft primer. You can find that online. Check out the 3 Yards Per Carry Twitter feed. That's available. I think it's like $4, and he put in hundreds of hours of work on the top 250 prospects in the draft and really breaks everything down for you. And that's on pre-sale. And I'm excited to see that. I actually ordered my copy yesterday. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the coverage that we're going to have on the network leading up to the draft because we got a great team here with the guys over at the 3 Yards Per Carry and all of our other Dolphins contributors as well. So we're going to have it covered from all angles. So before we jump off here, Jock, where can everybody find you on social?
King Jock 24 and everywhere else.
And everywhere else. And we're going to have some Miami Sports Break merchandise coming out here as well in the next couple of weeks. You're going to be able to find those shirts on the on the 5 Reasons site, as well as our Miami Sports Break Shopify store, which I'll have more details about those once they're available. And you can also follow us on our Instagram at MIA Sports Break. And we're going to try to get another show here in before the end of the week. But moving forward, I think we're going to change our schedule to Wednesdays going for the rest of the next couple of months. Obviously, I've got some scheduling things in the afternoon, and with life kind of changing a little bit with COVID and stuff getting a little bit more normal, gonna try to maybe go with a once a week format here to get you some real good content to break up the week. The Miami Sports Break on Wednesday kind of makes sense, but we'll keep you posted on the schedule and everything if anything changes. And we're grateful for all of our loyal viewers. I know a lot of you tune in every week to support us, and we're really appreciative of that. And want to thank you guys for joining, and we'll catch you next time.